Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today, we're going to talk about the Stone Temple Pilots again, and we're going to do a top 10 ranking not only of their discography, also, we're going to throw in a couple of side projects. Because Stone Temple Pilots as a band has had many issues with their lead singer and have gone in different directions with different vocalists over the years. So, we've seen the band working with Chester Bennington from Linkin Park or with Richard Patrick from Filter, both pretty interesting projects. And Scott Weiland, as a solo artist, has had a very interesting career and also worked with other bands. So originally, I put at number 10 Shangri La Di Dam, which is a pretty good Stone Temple Pilots album, at least half of the album. It's really solid, but I bumped it down to 11, so it's not in this ranking. And I put in Stone Temple Pilots EP with Chester Bennington. It was called High Rise, and the thing is that it wasn't my cup of tea, but in general, like the project was pretty good. I feel like the band didn't get like a fair shake from the fans with Chester Bennington. They didn't allow them to evolve and progress and see where they would take their sound and style. And it's a shame. Maybe they should have changed the name of the band or the project. That would have been a better idea. But that aside, let's get into number 9. We have Scott Weiland's Happy in Galoshes. And it is a fantastic double album of really high quality alternative rock. All the tracks are very enjoyable. The project in general has like this really nice positive energy to it and like this refreshing pop angle to some of the tracks. So after that, let's go to number 8. We have Velvet Revolver and their first album, Contraband. Now here we have Scott Weiland teaming up with some of the old members of Guns N' Roses. In general, this project wasn't my cup of tea, but I do have to say the track list is pretty solid. It had a couple of really big hits off it. So let's jump to number 7, where we have Blaster. It was Scott's final project before his passing. He had like formed this new band called Scott Weiland and the Wildabouts. And in general, this album, it's really good. With a lot of solo albums that we get from artists that break away from their main bands, you get the feeling that these tracks would have worked fantastically within the context of Stone Temple Pilots. They would have elevated these songs. And if you have not listened to Blaster or Happy in Galoshes, like I really recommend you guys to go out and listen to them. They're not like groundbreaking albums, but they're very enjoyable. So let's go into number 6, where we have Stone Temple Pilots and their album number 4. This was like the return album for the Stone Temple Pilots during this time. They had been on hiatus for a while prior to this. This album has like some of their best heavy stuff with awesome riffs. You get this really nice contrast of moments where they totally rock out and then more mellow songs and ballads that everything's just very well done. There's maybe like 1 or 2 tracks off this album that don't work for me, but they're not like terrible skippers. Now, at number 5, we have Core, a classic album, a quintessential album from the grunge era. This one is just pure gold. Like, from this point on, everything is just pure gold. And this particular production is fantastic from front to back. And I remember as a kid, we played quite a few songs off this album with my first cover band. I remember we used to play Creep off this album, and we also would play Creep from Radiohead back to back, and we thought it was hilarious that we're playing Creep twice. We were stupid kids back then. We were like 15 years old. Now, at number 4, we have Scott Weiland's first solo album, 12 Bar Blues, which, like, I remember when it came out, a lot of people ragged on this album. The production to this album is very interesting. It's very much in the vein of the Dust Brothers and what they were doing with Beck at the time. I find it super interesting to see 2 members from Porno for Pyros on this album. We have Martin Lenoble and Peter DiStefano. Lenoble is on bass and DiStefano is on guitars. And I just checked that Daniel Lanois is on the keys in production of this album. And I remember very vividly listening to this album for the first time. My drummer from my second band had purchased it. And I was fascinated with it. There's like some rough edges to the album, but it really grows on you. And way further down the line, I remember buying this album on a trip that I went on with my friend. We went to the south of Argentina to a place called Bariloche. And I remember seeing it at a music shop there. I had some savings. I bought that album. Those were good times. Now, let's go to number 3, another mega classic, Purple. I feel like this is the album that really showed off that the Stone Temple Pilots were the real deal, because everyone would rag on them that they were copying Alice in Chains and Soundgarden because of their sound and style and stuff like that. Also, as a kid, I remember we used to play a couple covers off this album. Like, one of my friends had like the official sheet music for this album. Now, at number 2, we have Army of Anyone. This is a fantastic side project where we have the guys from Stone Temple Pilots, actually 2 of them, the DeLeo brothers, because the drummer Eric Kurtz is not on this one. Sorry, I screwed up his last name. It's not Kurtz, it's Kretz. And the drummer to this album is Ray Luzier, the drummer from Korn, or who's playing in Korn right now. And the vocalist to this project is Richard Patrick, the singer to Filter. He does a killer job. Now, I would obviously call this a supergroup, and normally when they put out an album, they might have like 1 or 2 good tracks, and they don't really sound like a cohesive band. In this case, they kill it. They give us a monster of an album, and they're firing on all cylinders. The track list is really, really solid. Also, we get a incredible drum solo on one of the opening tracks from Ray Luzier. I strongly recommend you guys, if you have not listened to Army of Anyone, because this album and band in general, this project has just been totally forgotten over the years. It's really worth it. Now, at number 1, again, just like in my original Stone Temple Pilots ranking, we have Tiny Music. That on a artistic and creative level, this just is a quantum leap. Like, Purple is a fantastic album. It's really, really good. But I feel like Tiny Music is just in orders of magnitude better. So we're going to leave this ranking here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.